Start recording that.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be kind of strange. Speaker to be my ear. Good afternoon. Happy New Year. And you're all in for a treat because this is the first time I've ever chairing a committee meeting for HCISD, so help me out. So glad to see everybody. Go ahead and call to order. We've got 4:13 p.m. And if you would please, is there a U.S. flag? Okay.
There's a flag here?
Not right now. We bring them out for the assembly, so we just.
But there's one in the office?
We're okay.
We can face that one.
Yes,
We
we
can face
can.
towards the flag, somewhere over there.
Please rise and we'll say the pledge in the middle of the room. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. Item 2, do we have any public comments?
There are no questions for public comment.
Thank you. Item 3, we'll go ahead and open with, looks like a tour of the Childhood Academy and the outdoor play areas. Turn that over to Oscar. Are you taking that on?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Real, members of the committee, Dr. Gonzalez. Today we're going to have a site tour of the improvements to our Early Childhood Academy outdoor learning spaces. We're going to review the original indoor courtyard improvements we did last year. We did have some minor upgrades we want to show you, and then the brand new phase 2 that we just finished and completed. And we'll be led by Scott Majeski, who's our landscape architect, that has helped us do the project. And Berta Perea is going to be our host and touring us, and she'll tell us what the spaces are, and we can ask her questions. So at this time, I recommend that we recess for the tour, and then we can begin.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, so we'll follow you out.
Berta, you're going to lead us? We're going to start off here. Berta's going to tell us what this space is and what the activities they're going to do.
Yes, so this will be our gardening areas, and we did plan for 2 so that pre-K can pair up with the classroom, and then the kinder will have their gardening area as well. So they will be paired up, and this will very much be done with parents coming to help with the planting as well, and then of course down the road it'll turn into learning the finance, the markets. We already envision a little farmer's market once everything does come out, and so it's just the beginning, but it is our vegetable and our gardening area.
We got a few little citrus trees in here as well, so got I think a peach and a plum.
These are citrus?
Correct. I mean, sorry, some fruit trees.
Peach and
Plum, I think peach, plum, and I think we also have some, I think it's, sure, not strawberry guava. We have some guavas.
Guava.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and continue walking through, and Berta will tell us what the spaces are.
So this area is planned for the grown-ups to spend some time outside. It's really initially for teachers to come and have lunch outside and just get some fresh air. And then it's also available, it will be available once the tables are here for parent conferences, just opening that up, and just everything that we do inside is very much possible to do outside. So that was the original plan for this. And then of course, just another area to get that fresh air at the study show. I mean, a lot of us know that even just 20 minutes of just breathing fresh air, you don't even have to be exercising. Reading a book, spending time outside will help lower blood pressure if that's an issue, and just being outside clears your mind. So this is planned for the grown-ups.
So we're just waiting to order some tables and chairs outdoor, and then these are plugs here, these green boxes for power and charging up your phones and laptops.
No phone zone.
Dramatic play outside. If you are familiar with an early childhood classroom, you see the kitchen, you see different dramatic play areas inside, but we really very much wanted to be embedded into our outdoor learning. So the kids have already, when we have events, they've already taken this, and it's one of their favorite spots. We do need an HCISD flag. I'm just putting that in there. We'll get to that. But again, just the imagination, the creative play, and it helps them be problem solvers later on in life, and just the sky's the limit with whatever they want to do here, and be creative with their classmates.
Also, you notice
Some of the some of the playground equipment that we have here, such as this boat. They're from these manufacturers that do like very holistic. It's all natural materials, very well designed, and everything is done for safety and sustainability. So it's kind of nice. Which is.
And if you notice the security fencing with the panic hardware to protect the kids from going into the parking and pedestrian vehicular area. 8 foot on this side, all the way around.
Yeah, right, I know.
Scott, is this like our open meadow there?
It is here, so we have this one little central area that is kind of a multifunctional place, and we wanted to have a place if we had some inclement weather with a lot of rain or something, that we'd have a place that the kids could still come out and utilize even after rain. Obviously they won't be out here in the rain, but if the grass was too wet, this is artificial turf that has nice drainage underneath it, so it will be all weather and just kind of a good outdoor space for them to have activities. And you could even set up some tables and have some events on this
Rainbow area, because we bought it at Rainbow. That's just the name that stuck with it. And so before the extension, that was when it was placed over there where the mud pit is now, it was what we would use for outdoor exploration, kind of round 2. They go outdoors at least twice a day minimum. And so now they're going to be so excited because they haven't used this since the construction started. And so back there, Coach will start having PE outdoors. And so we're really looking forward to that. That was the initial plan. But of course, because of space, we're a little restricted. So starting tomorrow, he'll be able to utilize that for different things during PE.
How's Freebird?
So this will be debuted to the kids tomorrow, and they're going to be so excited. One of our teachers was also awarded a HAFE grant. So we have more instruments that will be installed in the coming weeks for them to use.
What are these?
They sound like little...
bongos, yeah. Kind of a music garden area.
I think we're calling them the groovy gardens, and so they get to...
Yeah, so we get in actually to the storm system. So if we get a major rain, it will get tied into the storm system, but it'll allow a little bit of water to percolate through here and naturally infiltrate into the ground, and also kind of just a nice space for the kids to play around and interact with boulders and gravel and things. So.
It's our stage outside. If any of you all were here for the Christmas fundraiser, it was definitely, we had about 50 people with students and parents crammed under here because it was raining, so John saw it. And yes, so we've already utilized this, but you can imagine all the little performances they get to play and create and come up with together. And so we're very, very excited. You'll be seeing lots of pictures of things going on. And the seating, it's of course the natural look, and it just adds that touch to it. And we didn't know they come up. They figured that out. I'm sure the kids will too. So as of now, the children have had access to this area a bit, and everyone has gone through the mud pit, and it was probably the best day ever. And so literally, where is it? The water hose gets connected there. They make mud. They brought their rain boots. They brought change of clothes. We made a schedule for them. Parents loved it. Pictures are on our Facebook page if anybody wants to look back and see them. But it was just an amazing day, and they were doing mud angels. If you can imagine that. That didn't make the social media post. But they were doing kind of like cannonballs in the mud.
Oh gosh.
So it was just a really great day, and you heard the kids like, "This is the best day ever." And then, so of course we learned about how the mud was made and all the learning opportunities that came with it. But it was just a really special day that none of us will ever forget.
The parents won't forget. Water play? Yeah, so it offers a lot of different opportunities for the kids with water.
Is it on?
Play with water.
And so it'll help with their math skills,
How do you turn
problem solving.
How do you turn it on, sir? So they roll in the sand?
Yes, it's really just learning through their experiences. So some children have never experienced sand at all, and then they quickly learn, and some don't like it, they don't want anything to do with it. Same thing with playing in the mud. Some of them, we're surprised that they were worried about getting dirty, because, you know, as parents, we're like, don't get dirty, don't, and so we kind of had to make them a little comfortable with that. So it's just offering and making sure that all of the students get the different kinds of experiences, because they all come with their own experiences. Mr. Tapia was sharing that it was designed as a bike path, and so they have the trikes. If you visited during the day, you have seen them. They have their miles on those trikes, and so now they're going to get to enjoy them all the way to the back over there.
They can drive the bike all the way to the end, all the way back, down the course, and back. It's a lot of exercise for the kids.
Yes, their gross motor skills, their hand-eye coordination, it just helps them with so many different things. And again, not everybody has access to bicycles, tricycles when they're little. And so just that, it helps them so much, and it translates into the classroom. Yes. And then we also have, you see there, it's our safe space. We do follow conscious discipline for emotional intelligence. And so every area, every classroom, and every area has to have an identified safe space to go deal with their big emotions. There you'll see the Enchanted Gardens. So you'll see fairies and gnomes. Back there on the right side at the corner, those are prehistoric gardens. So that's a dinosaur area. So every area has dramatic play as well. So they dress up as archaeologists. They do digs for fossils. This is our sensory path, and all of those things are made by the students and the teachers. And we have what we call outdoor learning projects once a quarter. So we look at the data, and the teachers plan a hotspot that we need to address. And so they find a project they want to create, they share that with the parents, and then the parents bring in the supplies, and then we do it. So next step, now that everything's complete, is bringing the parents in, and they're actually going to be the ones to create with us.
Re-roofing the project, that's why the edges are like that. But we're going to have brand new roof on this school.
We're working with 5 campuses, early adopters, because this is good for all elementaries, obviously, right? Kids outdoors, you know, that's good. So they've been working with 5 of our campuses already, and they're starting little by little to make some here get motivated and do pieces of it.
We have outdoor learning partners, so our teachers that were here last year, they partnered up and they were assigned to one of the 5 campuses. So those teachers have come here, and our teachers have gone to see their spaces and kind of help them with the design. And so the next piece that we had talked to Dr. Hurtado and Mr. Romero about is that we have what we call our role models, which is our Remy's is our mascot. So they're Remy's outdoor learning experts. So the next step is that they will visit those campuses, and then they will help and lead those children and teach them how to play with whatever's created. So we're in heaven.
Yeah. The grounds are beautiful. I mean,
It is.
Seeing like the storage needs, especially when we use the mud pit, we saw immediately like we need some kind of walkers for the towels, and but everything, like the children were learning through experience because we've never done this before. Right. And so yes, but it's been amazing.
keep it like this.
Yeah. That's the end goal. Eventually, they'll all have outdoor learning spaces because it's good for all kids.
And every elementary does have an area that they can develop.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we're kind of trying to spread that.
I'm gonna get a little more from this side. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, well, I can have your attention. We're back from the tour. That was item 3A, so we need to move on to item 3B. Ricky, you started chairing the meeting. Do you want to continue, or you want to chair Dr. Bettis' staff?
For my colleague has done an exceptional job. I officially start this new year off with fine. Okay, so item B under 3 is a presentation and update on our Guardian program. I asked Mr. Danny Castillo for an update on our Guardian program.
I guess we'll go the echo effect with the microphone. Good afternoon, board members, committee members. I want to provide just a very brief overview on the Guardian program. As it stands today, we have 11 Guardians that are on the school district's payroll. We have been conducting some training. Today we did some training with them today throughout the whole day. We have another 2 that may be starting this next Monday. And then we have 4 additional that are pending processing through our Human Services Department. All in all, that nets us 17 positions that we have in process to come on board to the district, leaving us with 3 vacancies right now that we'll be looking at filling as soon as practical. So that, I want to just give you a brief overview on that. Today, we're very fortunate to have Dr. Gonzalez here with our guardians and our whole security team. Today, we kicked off with a whole group on the emotional intelligence, handing out the book. We're going to do our own book study within that whole group. And it was a very interesting time where tying in some of their backgrounds now and how relevant that whole subject matter is even to what we do within the area of security. So that's my brief update to the group. Unless there's any questions.
Yes, sir, I have a question. As a committee, my question for you is, the Guardian program has, did we get the news out, have we paid attention, do we like advertise that at all, or share it with the community at all, or do you have some idea?
One of the things that we're trying to work on right now, and we've been on that since we made the first hires, is I want to get their full uniforms in.
Got it.
I think when we do that presentation to the public, I want them to have their full uniform. So a lot of those are on order, and as soon as we get them in that first group, I think that would be a great opportune time to get them out there where they can visibly.
Absolutely. So you probably know, I mean, a lot of people open a new business, for example, and have a groundbreaking 6 months later.
Yes, sir.
When you do it at the best time, when you have all the buildings, when you have all the systems in place, process, procedures, build uniforms, right? So you're still building something, right? You're still creating it. So that's a perfect time. I guess then you have to follow up down the road with that, and then also, I'd love to know if you see other places that are imitating us. Do you know of other places in the River Valley, other places that are doing this type of work right now in the state of Texas?
Not what we are doing, not the way we are structuring it with the standards that we employ. I think every district across this whole region, across the whole state, they're all looking to, of course, comply with the new state mandate. Even agencies that have their own police agency found themselves understaffed. So they're having to create their own approach. None that I've heard to this point that have established the Guardian program with our standards.
I would love to, I mean, if it came with this superintendent, if you think it's a good idea, I think that we'd love to, be a part down the road of helping make introductions to show this kind of work off to state of Texas officials, to, the folks at the emergency management, office, things like that. I mean, I think they should know, because then they'll be in a position to share some best practices with other school districts. I mean, you have something that works, why not share it and share the idea with other folks? And then, it just elevates our brand, and who knows, it might lead to more grant money or something. I don't know, none of that. So.
Most definitely. And touching on that point, Dr. That is the Guardian program in itself, I think, is very innovative the way we're approaching it, but it's even strengthened even more with the additional layers of partnerships that we've incorporated with the program. So it's not just that one solution, but it's a more comprehensive, broader, community-based type of partnership that we developed from a safety standpoint. That's what's going to make it even that much stronger, more sustainable.
The concept of the layered approach is brilliant. And that's kind of, you're right, it's just one sliver of a broader, holistic, layered approach that's going to keep our community safe, our kids safe, and our staff safe. So, but I think, it's kind of cool to start the conversation somewhere, and then you tell them, and they're like, wow, this is, that's a lot of depth to it, right? So,
That's it.
thanks.
Any other questions? Danny, was the thought that they would be assigned to a school exclusively, or do you plan on floating them to different campuses? It's still to be determined.
I think one of the initial thoughts were, and again, that's the beauty of the way we have it now as an internal program, that we can flex it and change it as we see fit. I think that's the whole purpose, similar to a law enforcement approach. You have maybe a home campus assigned, but you can also have the ability to flex them depending on the need of the district. So the initial approach was to try to cover as many of the elementaries, but there's certainly room for us to consider at the middle school and secondary. So there's something we can look at as we develop the program. There may be some of them as guardians that are more apt to maybe being assigned at the secondary level, depending on their skill sets. Because there's a lot of talent that is coming on board, a lot of great practitioner experience that I'm looking at leveraging all of that.
Just having kids in the district, I hear that sometimes the kids build relationships with the law enforcement who hang around that school, and that might return on its investment for whatever situation presents themselves. But just something to think about. Sometimes it's good to have a relationship with kids if they're at a school permanent. But it also helps to have fresh eyes too. So yeah. Well, thank you for the update. If there are other questions, we'll go on to item C, which is this one will be fun. We're looking for a presentation on the AIA LRGB Design Award for Treasure Hills Elementary.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Liedman, for the committee, Dr. Gonzalez. On this item, we have our project architect present here, Mike Alex. He let us know that on December 7th, 2023, the American Institute of Architects Lower Rio Grande Valley chapter made the announcement that Roof Architects had won, was awarded the 2023 Design Merit Award for the design of the Treasure Hills Elementary renovations and additions project for HCISD. So just wanted to, we do have a plaque in front of you that Mr. Alex handed out. If you haven't seen it, I guess they can take those with them, Mike?
Yeah.
And just a little information that Mike emailed me about the project, the cost, the size, cost per square foot, some of the data and descriptions of the design and how we went about the designing the school. Just an overall floor plan of the different spaces, how it was all designed in a balance and axial design from north to south with the administration in the middle and buttressed by wings on the north and south sides. And just some pictures of the finished products. We did have a meeting like this at the school when we finished it. Those of you that were here, we gave a tour. If you haven't seen it, it'd be a very nice project to visit and walk around and really enjoy the design. We are going to have an agenda item next Tuesday on the school board meeting to give a recognition to Mr. Alex and his firm. Mr. Alex, anything you want to add?
Sure, I'll add a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank the school district for allowing us to design this building. There's a lot of pillow talk, of course. My wife's a teacher there for a long time, so I learned a lot from what the teachers really wanted, what the students were dealing with. It was a wonderful project. You know, it was 3+ years of effort in construction over 2 phases of construction. I think what the jury really liked the most about it is that we reused the school, and of course they loved the new look of the design. If you remember, I mean, the campus was really not very congruent stylistically, architecturally, and so it was difficult to navigate through the school. And so putting everything together, back together, to have common corridors, as Mr. Tapia suggested, and then turning the building 90 degrees for the entrance to be facing off the parking lot instead of on Hayne Boulevard, and eliminating a lot of the traffic. They loved all of those ideas. I know the traffic is not eliminated. The principal reminds me all the time, but it's certainly a lot better than it was before. And then having the distances to queue, the long distances to queue out in front of the building has been very helpful. You know, I just want to say that the teachers were incredibly patient through the process. We went through 2 principals through the process. All of the principals that touched that effort were nothing but gracious and accommodating as best as they could. They pushed back when they had to, especially when they were concerned about safety and those things. But I mean, they really gave us a lot of latitude to do the things that we needed to do, and we're incredibly patient, because if you're dealing with a campus like this, you know, it's close to 50 years old. There's skeletons behind every closet. There's going to be problems. We can't anticipate everything. Certainly, we can't phase it in such a way as to not anticipate everything. So, you know, getting the
facility partitioned and safe during certain portions of construction was extremely difficult. And we rethought a lot of it too. I mean, we thought we had plans, and I'll be the first to tell you that, once we got in there, we realized, well, kids are going to do this, they're not going to do that. And so having to deal with that was, really important. And of course, the principals were just phenomenal. I would say that it is a special award. The Rio Grande Valley Institute of Architects does not give awards, design awards every year. It's every 2 years. And so they only gave 2 design awards. They can give as many as they want. There were 18 entries, and only 2 were selected for merit or excellence. And so we were one of them. So it is a very special award. We are going to submit it to the state and see how we do at the state level. There's another competition at the state level, design awards at the state level, and we'll see how we do there too. Maybe we'll win something there as well.
Not to mention, we got caught during the COVID, which affected the construction industry heavily. And we were just a lot of pull and push with the contractor. We had a lot of difficult meetings with the contractor, and we just worked together to find solutions and find alternate materials, because some of them were long lead items, and we just kept working, finding solutions until we finally got the project done. But it was quite an experience.
Yeah, working through the pandemic is a monster all by itself, for sure. And there just was a standstill on a lot of products. The metal roof was a particularly difficult product. Anything made out of metal that came out of China was very, very difficult to get. So, I don't know what else to say except that I would just add one more thing. Some of y'all that were around when we first started programming for this facility, there was some talk about whether or not we should keep this campus or not. And sure, it would have been a lot easier to go out to the outskirts of town, buy some cheap land, and put Treasure Hills somewhere else, and sell this land to the university. I mean, they were frothing at the mouth wanting perhaps this property, but it really wasn't the right thing to do. And I think very quickly on, this leadership decided, you know what, this is a pillar of the community, it's a pillar of the neighborhood. You can't get rid of the school. You get rid of the school, you lose the neighborhood. It cost more to do it this way. It was much more challenging this way. But now that the project's complete, we don't think about those things. We think about we still got a school in the middle of the neighborhood. And so I want to commend y'all. The jury certainly commended y'all for doing that and not discarding this campus. And then I also want to say that Mr. Tapia is probably one of the best client representatives that I've worked with. I've worked with him for 30 years when he was in Brownsville. And I'm not just saying this in front of his face, he knows that I've told him many times. He is formally designed, he's formally trained as a designer, he's formally trained as an architect. And so he knows what we need. He knows when we're not doing our job. He knows how to push us. This design would not have come without his push, frankly. I mean, we redesigned the building several times for pigeons, of all things, in one case. But I mean, we did a lot of work, and it was a pleasure working with him. It wasn't difficult. It was a challenge we needed to get this excellence. Okay, so I want to thank Oscar especially for that.
Thank you. Any questions?
I just want to make a comment that it is a beautiful facility. I love going there, and it really is a complete transformation. Everything about this, like where it used to look and how everything. It is really truly a design. It deserves the design. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Of course. Congratulations to you all. Oh, there's a trophy too. Y'all want to take a picture of this? This is the award that they gave us. This is y'all's to put wherever you like.
Well, we'll present it during next Tuesday's board meeting, and we'll take a picture at that event.
So can I take it home with me and
Watch where you put it, you fall down, it's right here, looks like it could cause some damage. This is the entry that we presented, if y'all want to care to look at how we presented all these 2 times.
Thank you, Mike.
Looks like some sort of form.
Sure, yeah.
No, Bethla, it is not a play feature. You put it in the courtyard.
Architects can't have this
It's a full club.
Okay, we need to move on, because I know we're limited in time here when you think about it.
Congratulations, Mike. We'll see you next week. Very good. Item D is a presentation update on ESSER funding. That's awesome.
Mr. Liad, member of the committee, Dr. Gonzalez. I'm going to rush through this really quickly. The ESSER funded projects, just to get an update on the air conditioning projects. Central plant at the high school is about 92% complete. All the other ones at Coakley and Bowie and all the controls phases, they've made progress on wiring all these projects. And so I'm just going to, you can read the phases there. HVAC improvements at the annex also controls 38%. So all those are ongoing. They're running wires, waiting for some parts. The only one at the bottom there, south of those units, will come in April, I believe. So we're waiting for those. On the roofing projects, American Contracting at the high school south and early childhood academy, which is this building. Re-roofing this entire building, we're about 60% complete. High school, we're about 63%. We just need a couple more wings to start working on, but we've worked on a good 7 or 8 wings already. Genac Architects and the Administration Annex and Vernon, those are done. They're starting on the cosmetology, and they've already completed several of the mini chips, so we're about 81%. And just some pictures of some of the cap roofing sheets, which is the final cap put on the roof over at the high school. And then on the doors and windows, a lot of you can see the top left is the old wooden frames of the windows, and we're replacing them with the ones on the right, which is the aluminum type of commercial framing and mullions. And those are pretty much 80% complete. Then they're waiting for the glass to come in, and then they'll put those and they'll be complete. All the storefronts that you see there in the bottom right and the stairwells, all those have been put in. This building, they've already what they call tried it in, where it can rain, water won't come in. They do need to work on the final cap sheet and the fascia metal trim on the edges. Any questions on the ESSER funded projects? And now we'll move on to TRE, the paving and drainage improvements at SAC of first responders. All we're doing is working on the landscaping. They already started trenching for the landscaping pipes and irrigation. We're just waiting for the plants to be put in. This building, well, we just did a tour. We're 99%. We're just doing punch lists on the outdoor spaces. The renovations at Harlingen High, Ziwa, we're about 94% complete. I'll show some pictures of the quad and some of the exterior improvements there. Coakley and Vernon, we're 50%. They already started the bleacher work at Coakley. They already came in. They started working over the break. Parking lot improvements, they've done all the demolition. They're just waiting for and they already got the fixtures delivered. They're just waiting for the poles to come in so that they can erect the new lighting poles at Bella and at the Central Administration Building. Culinary Arts, 2 high schools, they've done all the demo work, they've done some plumbing work, and they're starting to do some of the framing on some of the new walls and at the 2 high schools at the culinary program. This one we just walked. That's the quad that we are doing at the Harlingen High. There's the new logo and Exit S, which is a nice photo op area. The kids like in the middle of the courtyard. Eating areas for the kids during the dining, they can go there. And we put some additional railing there in the bottom right at the corners so that kids don't have a little safety from falling into that drainage structure. The band hall, the new aluminum metal, is already, all of it came in. They worked on it during the break. It's almost finished. And on the bottom left is just a picture of some of the new signage that we have that labels the wings and points to what areas to go to in the campus. That they had small signage, and it was all different from all throughout the years, different colors, different sizes. Now it's standardized. Coakley, I talked about the bleachers. They're installing them at the next meeting that we have. I'm sure they'll be complete, and I'll show you an update of how they look. And the culinary, like I said, they already started the new framing work. They did all the demo up at the top, all the wiring. They had to make sure they didn't cut a lot of our wiring, computers and wiring and intercom and security, and just a lot of wiring, fire alarm. So they make sure they didn't disrupt any of that. School safety fencing at Crockett, we started, last meeting we had, we were just starting Crockett. They finished it over the break. There's the red area of the new fencing that we put up. All 8-foot fencing all around the perimeter. The project is complete. Contingency allowances, as Ziwa at the high school I talked about, there was a backflow preventer. We put a cage over it so the kids wouldn't kick it. New signage that I showed you and rerouting some existing conduits, $5,600. We had a balance contingency of $26,000. Now we have $21,000 left on the contingency for that project. That's number 3. The next, number 4, also at Harlingen High School, was, that was to remove the existing red gates where the student drop-off is in front of the school, next to the administration on the right. Because we have new security fencing on the inside of the perimeter, we took out those bars that were in the front that looked very uninviting. So we got rid of those, installed the new guardrails at the corner of the quad that I showed you. All that was $12,000, so we have a balance of $8,757 left on that contingency fund. And the last one was for this project that we just toured. We had some contingency left over, so we went back to the interior courtyard to make some changes that we saw, and then we removed all the burglar bars or red gates that we had around this covered area. We opened it up. Now that the new construction is complete and we have security fencing, we took all that out and really opened up the space. All that cost $18,000, so our $22,000 contingency is now down to $3,800. So I'm reporting those contingency allowances. Other than that, that's pretty much on the construction report. Are there any questions? If not, we can move on to the financials.
Thank you, Mr. Board Member Dr. Gonzalez. Before you have our TRE budget, we're in year 9 of the particular program. Currently for years 1 through 8, we've spent $88.4 million. Current year 9, as of December 31st, 2023, we've spent and encumbered $7.5 million. Total spent and encumbered $95.9 million, which gives a balance of $8.4 million on our operating budget for year programs. Again, we have a $104 million budget since 9 years ago on the program. Any questions?
So you get those by adding the 374, 20, and 10, that's the total?
That is correct. So we have a budget of 74 for years 1 through 6, 10 million for 7 and 8, $10 million budget for year 9, gives us $104 million. Years 1 through 8, we spend $88.4 million. Year 9, current year, $7.5 million, we spend and encumbered. Gives a total of $95.5 million spent and encumbered. And we subtract that from the $104 million, it's deposit back to $8.4 million.
Any questions, construction funds? If not, thank you, Ms. Mendoza. That concludes this portion.
I just want to say, after whenever some of us were at the HHS, the quad space, and then got to be here today, and just both of the projects. For outdoor spaces, people don't pay as much attention, to that, and I think both of them, the campuses, especially HHS, is just super proud of that space, and so I just want to thank y'all for putting effort to that and giving them a space that they can really use. You mentioned photo opportunities and just a place for them to congregate and do some really nice things there. So I want to commend you for that. Thank you.
Both of these will go together.
Sure.
Go out to that forward.
Before we move on, Danny, I think Danny has one more thing that he's going to share.
Just real quickly, as if anybody is aware, today is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So tomorrow, we're having a law enforcement partner appreciation luncheon at Central Admin, room 502-3. It'll start at 11 till 1. So I wanted to put the invite out to our board, and love to have you there to see all of our law enforcement partners.